worrying. Socialism told him that development along these lines leads to ruin, and neither of them gave an answer or even a hint in reply to the question what he, Levin, and all the Russian peasants and landowners were to do with their millions of hands and millions of acres to make them as productive as possible for the common weal. Having once taken the subject up, he read conscientiously everything bearing on it, and intended in the autumn to go abroad to study land systems on the spot, in order that he might not on this question be confronted with what so often met him on various subjects. Often, just as he was beginning to understand the idea in the mind of anyone he was talking to, and was beginning to explain his own, he would suddenly be told, "But Kaufmann, but Jones, but Dubois, but Micheli, you haven't read them. They've thrashed that question out thoroughly." He saw now distinctly that Kaufmann and Micheli had nothing to tell him. He knew what he wanted. He saw that Russia has splendid land, splendid laborers, and that in certain cases, as at the peasants on the way to Sviazhsky's, the produce raised by the laborers and the land is great. In the majority of cases, when capital is applied in the European way, the produce is small, and that this simply arises from the fact that the laborers want to work, and work well only in their own peculiar way, and that this antagonism is not incidental but invariable, and has its roots in the national spirit. He thought that the Russian people, whose task it was to colonize and cultivate vast tracts of unoccupied land, consciously adhered, till all their land was occupied, to the methods suitable to their purpose, and that their methods were by no means so bad as was generally supposed, and he wanted to prove this theoretically in his book and practically on his land. Chapter 29.